Roman citizenship, rights and responsibilities. Somewhere around 31 AD, a vast empire ruled, the Roman Empire. The possession of Roman citizenship was highly prized throughout Rome and its provinces. Roman citizenship brought the protection of Roman law everywhere in the world. It also brought the responsibility of protecting the Roman state against enemies. Due to the empire being so vast, they could not grant everyone the same privileges. Citizens of this era have certain rights and responsibilities. The rights and responsibilities of citizens vary according to which social class they belong. The social classes are slaves, freedmen, commons, equestrians, and senators. There are certain requirements to be a Roman citizen. Through the ages, the requirements varied, but few always stayed the same. All Roman citizens have the right to vote, to make contracts, and to legal marriage. Even though slaves weren't actual citizens, they were still important to Rome's economical growth. Slaves were considered lower class. Slaves had many responsibilities. Slaves have more rights than you think. They had the right to report mistreatment and, if their masters let them keep money, pay to ensure families stayed together. It was Roman law that a master must tend to the slave if it is ill, and not leave it to die to buy a new one. Slaves have to work and do whatever their master says. They often got put on jobs like farmers or business workers, and they'd rarely ever get paid. An average household could have from 1 to 10 slaves. Freedmen are considered lower class. Freedmen are freed slaves. Freedmen had many responsibilities and few rights. Freedmen had all the rights of a full Roman citizen, but they could not run for office. Their responsibilities are the same as a regular Roman citizen. They had to pay their taxes and serve in the military. If a freedman married another freedman, their offspring would be a full citizen with all the rights, just like the next higher class, the commons. The commons are average citizens. Commons are still considered lower class, though. Commons are also known as plebeians. Commons have all the rights and few responsibilities. All commons had to do was the military time and their taxes like a regular citizen. If a citizen gained $40,000, they would be eligible for the equestrian class. Equestrians are the next highest class. Equestrians have all the rights and many responsibilities and even a few privileges. Equestrians are usually miners, bankers, tax collectors, exporters, or businessmen. They have all the rights and the privilege of a horse and special seating at games. The word equestrian means horseman. They are called this because they have the privilege to ride a horse. If an equestrian owns $100,000, he is eligible for the senatorial class. Senators are also known as patricians. Senators have almost all rights and many privileges. Due to them making the laws, they do not have the right to vote or hold office. They are not allowed to do certain things because the senators are of the highest class. Their job is to oversee the laws. The emperor is considered to be in the senatorial class. Now we're going to our Roman expert, Mrs. Sue Shelton. Miss Shelton, how did you come to know all you know about the Roman history?
Well, in high school, I became very interested in the study of Rome through my Latin classes. So in college, I majored in Latin, and I studied Latin and Greek, Roman history, and and Greek mythology. I also have read and translated many of the Latin authors about their history. And I really, really enjoy reading Roman novels. And I've taught Latin for 32 years.
Miss Shelton, do you believe that the rights of Roman citizen is fair when compared to the responsibilities?
Probably not, especially with the plebeians and the lower classes. They worked very, very hard, and they had very few rights. And the few rights they did have, they had to really fight and struggle to gain those rights.
What do you think about Roman women?
Well, Roman women did not have citizenship, but the Romans were much more enlightened, and they seemed to respect Roman women much more than some of the other societies. And even though the women were considered property of their husbands and fathers, women were able to own property and inherit property. And if a woman's husband died, then she would inherit the property and run the family.
Do you believe the upper class of Rome's government has too much power over the lower class?
Definitely. The patricians were the lords of the plebeians and the freedmen, and the patricians and equestrians were the only ones that could hold office and were able to make laws. So the fact is that they really could do anything or make any laws or taxation or anything they wanted to over the plebeians and the other common people.
These social classes have different rights and responsibilities. All of these social classes work together to make the Roman society a successful example that many still follow today.